Okay, John, preseason practice is here. As you begin your fifth season, what excites you the most about this fall?
I think every year you go into a new season, you're always excited about the potential, what's ahead of you, a new identity of players, new leaders and new seniors, and it's always a season that's going to unfold as we go along with different storylines. So I think you always approach every season with optimism and excitement, and obviously, the keenness to see what your team's going to look like each year. But as a soccer coach, this is our favorite time of the year. You're 0-0, you're just about to start. Tactics are about to kick off, and the training and the conditions are about to be done, and everybody's geared up and ready to go.
With so few practices prior to the exhibition, how do you maximize the time you have with the players to get them ready?
Well, a lot of it goes back to your spring season, the importance of the spring season and taking advantage of those training dates and those training times. And obviously the summer season is essential now in a player's preparation. Pre-season, obviously, you minimise how many training opportunities you've got. And so you really rely upon the quality of your player throughout the off-season and the summer to get the work done. And that's what excites us. We've got a good group. The chemistry's fantastic. The leadership's where it needs to be. And each player's taken on the individual importance of preparing. So it makes it a lot easier for us.
Offensively, last year the team to be hot one game, cold another. How do you build a more consistent effort to give yourself a chance every time out?
Well, it goes back to repetition of everything you're doing. We can't just train on that theme once and then think we've conquered it. It's a continuation of just good habits and getting the players to stay longer after practice and get there before practice and put the work in. And they've done that this spring, and they've been doing that over the course of the summer, and we'll continue to keep harping on the importance of, seeing the ball hit the back of the net. So a lot of our training sessions are themed towards going a goal. We like to spread the goals out amongst the team, so we may never have that goal scorer that gets 20-something odd goals, but we hope to get about 10 players that can chip in with 5 to 6 goals apiece.
Who are some of those players that you see stepping up this year up front?
Well, Amanda Jones is one of those players who has been on fire during the course of the spring season. She's got that ability to score goals from distance and inside the box. Sarah Trexler's, always got off to good starts. Had a little bit of an injury bug at the midpoint of last season that took away a little bit of her time. But, we've got players in midfield that are goal-scoring potential as well, the Maddie Keebles of this world. And, Tori Fabrara's had a good spring. And, like I said, we look at spreading the wealth of goals as opposed to having that one player that teams focus on and try to shut down. But, the goal is midfielders have got to get between 5 to 6 goals a year, and the forwards have got to get between 6 to 10 goals a year. So if we get that kind of contribution from players, we're going to be right where we need to be.
One of the strengths of last year's team was defense. Most of the players on that side of the ball returned. What's that unit capable of this fall?
Well, we're going to rely a lot upon those players. Obviously, like you said, at times last year goal scoring was a bit of an issue for us, but as long as we're keeping the ball out the back of the net, we give ourselves a chance to win every game. It starts with our goalkeeping. Alex and Annie in particular were competing for that spot, and it was a great competition throughout the year. The girls in front of them did a fantastic job. Brooke Malloy was our MVP, and I thought she had a fantastic season. The development of players like Monica Trickett, and we'll get us players back like Nikki Anderson, who missed last year through an injury. So there's a lot of quality individually. Just got to make that group individually working as a unit. And again, that's the time that they'll spend together during pre-season, on and off the field, developing those relationships.
Last season, you were able to play 2 solid players in goal. Is that something you envision doing at this point heading into the season for this year?
I don't know if that was the intent going into the season, but that's how it worked out. I think you always like to see somebody emerge as a number one and your true number one, but the way it developed for us last year, with Annie getting one game and Alex getting another game, we were getting the best of both of them. And that probably just improved the performance of the goalkeeping position in particular. I think both players knew that they had a game that weekend, they prepared well, and obviously they brought their best game throughout the course of the weekend. Again, it's open competition. It may come down to that again. Ideally, it's always nice to have one keeper and be that first choice keeper, but we're very blessed that we've got 2 outstanding keepers, and obviously we've got Alex Weaver coming up strong from behind as well. She'll be pushing for playing time at some point in her career here. So, any program will tell you need competition in places, and we got good competition in the goalkeeping spot.
It always seems like it takes forever for the season to get here. This year, though, once it starts, it's upon you with 3 home games in the first 5 days. How do you balance tactical and technical training with good conditioning during the preseason?
Well, that's the key. The word that you just said there, balance. We've got to get it right. You can overtrain and be exhausted come game time. You can undertrain and not be prepared. We've had plenty of time to put this together in our minds, how preseason's going to plan out. We've got enough lined up training sessions to know when to push them and when to do tactical work and when to do technical. But the idea behind 3 games in 5 days was just to get Niner Nation so excited about seeing us on a regular basis at the start of the school semester. And the opportunity to play a 3rd game at home in 5 days was, something we had to take advantage of. We had another school come onto our schedule, and we said, "Yep, we'll be delighted to play in front of our fans." And that's a challenge for us to play 3 games in 5 days, but the excitement level is there too.
All right, John. Good luck as the preseason begins, and we'll be talking to you as we get closer to the exhibition and the season opener.
Thank you. Appreciate it.